Okay, welcome to another edition of Lion News. Lion News can be found at lionnews00.blogspot.com. Today is Saturday, January 15th, 2011. And what are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to talk about the malicious prosecution of July 8th, 2009. Okay, and who was the malicious prosecutor? Well, that was Neil T. Nelson. He works for the city attorney's office, Oberlin Roth, and now he's a partner Nelson, now that he's become county attorney. Oberlin is still the city attorney. You can see that from the website information right here. Okay, so all the hogs are eating at the trough now, so they should be happy as little clams. Okay, so like I said, we need a little backup information here. And so Kathy Barbara Mayer was filing these complaints. She was using the court law library, or the public law library in the courthouse, and she was using the public terminals to write her complaints. All right, this is all public equipment and all public research material that the public has paid for. But see, every time she would go there and use it, she'd get harassed by the cops because they knew she was using it to file complaints. And they couldn't have that. See, they wanted her to keep quiet. And so what they tried to do is intimidate her into silence. So they just keep on harassing and harassing her. All right? So what was happening was she'd file these complaints, and then flyers would be made up, and they'd be handed all over town. And I mean, they just go bonkers because they couldn't handle all this information getting out, because their image in town was that they're honest as the day is long. I mean, most people probably knew that they were a bunch of crooks to start with, but they didn't have any, didn't have enough guts to say anything about it. But the thing is, she had some guts at the time, and filing complaints and then handing out these flyers. Okay, I mean, just totally trashing these crooks, and they couldn't have that. So what they had to do was harass her into silence, and eventually she did cave in. Okay, see, because what they did to me, they maliciously arrested me, maliciously prosecuted me, maliciously imprisoned me. See, she didn't want to go to jail. See, I had no problem going to jail. See, they throw me in jail for a while, I get to educate people in there. I get people to file complaints in jail. They did not want me in jail. See? So what happened was they finally silenced Kathy by she ended up catching a theft case that happened on the totally opposite side of town. Wasn't anywhere near the courthouse. But see, look at the conditions of her probation. Conditions: other, may not enter the Pope County Courthouse unless summoned to be here or have to pay a fine. And that's dated 8/27/2010. See, she's on a year's probation. She can't go in the courthouse for a year. If she has to, she's got to call ahead to get permission. See, she thinks that's no problem because they leave her alone. Well, that's essentially she's a slave. See, no one's going to make me a slave, I'll guarantee you that. See? And like I said, she was using the public law library computer. And what they tried to do to me was run a smear campaign on me for putting out simple flyers like this. Doesn't even mention who it's talking about. See? Doesn't say Judge John Staffschild, even though I knew he was a crook at the time. Didn't mention Tom Larson, even though I knew he was a crook at the time. Didn't mention Belvin Dobert, even though I knew he was a crook at the time. See? But see, they didn't want that getting out there. They had to keep it quiet. They had to keep this picture that they were perfect. Well, anytime you have a picture of someone who's perfect, you know darn well it's a phony mask. You got a wolf in sheep's clothing trying to project that image there. See? And that's what these people are. So what they did was, she called me up the day, July 8th, 2009, and she said that she was going to go to the courthouse and she was going to file some complaints. Okay, so I said, well, I asked her if she wanted me to go along, and she said no. She said if she had a problem, she'd call me later. Okay, she wasn't there 10 minutes, and she called me, frantic that these people were harassing her. Okay, so what I do is I just got done making this flyer right here. I was working on this one right here. Okay? So we made up a bunch of flyers. Okay? And so we head down there, and what do? They maliciously arrest me. And they eventually maliciously prosecuted me and maliciously imprisoned me. Well, actually, they maliciously imprisoned me that day because they hauled me off to Todd County. Okay? But see, I was arrested for exercising my right to expose local corruption. See, they did not want that happening. So they trumped up this trespass charge, which was complete bullshit. See? Because not only did the sheriff lie, but their person who supposedly filed the complaint against me lied on the witness stand. See? Because, like I said, in the flyer, we'll get to that in a second here. So anyhow, this is what completely destroyed Tom Larson's reputation right here. He didn't even run for re-election because of this information getting out. See? He couldn't handle this information that was on there. See? And it's all the facts. See, all you gotta do is take off the little question mark there, and it's clearly what happened. See? Take off every little can you, or every little question mark there. Take out everything after the comma there, and you'll clear, precise, and unquestionable statements there of what actually happened. See? So you can't trust any prosecution or conviction in Pope County, can you? Because, you know, anytime they want to prosecute these assholes, I'll gladly testify. See? And who is the prostituting attorney? Well, that was this little crook Neil T. Nelson. He suborned perjury. That's getting perjurers to get up on the witness stand, which is a crime in itself. See? But see, he's got this little image. He's so scared he won't even allow the newspaper to release his photograph. You know why? Because I would have it, and I would use it to my advantage. See, that's what they're deathly scared of. I mean, these people are so gutless, it's not even funny. Okay? So, like I said, all you gotta do is remove all the question marks. You'll find out exactly what happens here. You find out who's involved, what day it's happened. You know, that simpleton that comes up to me that day, that confronted me on the day on Waterama, came up and said it was completely vague. There wasn't any facts on here at all. I mean, it's loaded with facts. See? But he's just some agenda-driven idiot that refuses to accept the facts. See? Were there 4 people in the room at the time, you know, of the alleged crime? Sure there were. Did Tom Larson take witness statements from all 4 people? No, he didn't. He only took the witness statement from the one person who's going to commit perjury. See? The other 2, they never took a witness statement from her. Well, that's Tom Larson's job, is to take witness statements. He's supposed to ask me what happened, so he can get incriminating statements from me. He never asked me what happened. He never got a statement from them. The only statement that I ever got was from the perjurer. See? So, I knew exactly what was happening. I put out this information. Tom Larson doesn't even run. Okay? Because he's running from the truth. See? He wasn't running for election. He was running from the truth. So, I knew this was a completely trumped up case. So, they have me, I think it was the 14th, I was supposed to go to some kangaroo court hearing. I didn't go. Okay? I was on my my release on my own recognizance. It says that I'm supposed to attend every single hearing. Okay? I was downtown Glenwood handing out flyers. Okay? The court record says that I was there. Well, how can I be there when I was downtown? And see, every time I'm handing out flyers, the cops are always called. Because for the longest time, it was in the newspaper that flyers handed throughout town. You can go on the website and see. But see, it was actually the cops calling. You know, they were the concerned citizens. Well, obviously they didn't want to confront me there. And, you know, I was wearing my regular uniform that says malicious prosecution victim on the front, and it says police brutality victim on the back. You know, it was the thugs from Pope County, it was the crooks from Pope County, wasn't it? You know, so, I mean, I stick out like a sore thumb. How can you not see me? You know? And whenever I go out with someone else, they're always swarming around the person who I'm with. They never swarm around me. I mean, the cops drive around them, trying to intimidate them. They never do that to me because I'm not intimidated. See, that's the situation here. So anyhow, let's go back to this SWAT team here. So on the 17th, the day I was maliciously arrested by the Stevens County SWAT team, I went to a concert that night, and I was sitting 5 places away from, guess who? Judge John Staffschild. Well, he knew that I supposedly had a warrant out on me. Why didn't he call the Glenwood police? Well, because it was already pre-planned that they'd have the Stevens County SWAT team come in and raid my home. Hopefully scare the piss out of me. Search my house, and burglarize it like they did the last time. See, and this time they actually came up with a warrant. Okay, well, I mean, it was a warrant from a trumped up, case, so it wasn't a valid warrant to start with, but at least it made these guys think that they had something, that was valid. I mean, whereas those other little jerks showed up on my place, on July 20th of 2007 without a warrant, and then lie about it. See, at least these guys can say that they actually had a piece of paper that looked like a warrant. Okay? So, what happens? Like I said, I'm sitting next to Judge John Staffschild for the whole concert. Why doesn't he just dial 911? Hey, come pick him up. Well, see, Judge John Staffschild didn't want to have his little dirty fingers attached to it. See? Because the reality of the situation is, when I went back into the courthouse, guess who was walking out the courthouse on July 8th, 2009? Well, it was that little bitch, Judge John Staffschild. Okay? So, I offer him a flyer. I said, here you go. You know what he does? He gets into a corner and he goes, I mean, just like a little bitch. I mean, it was hilarious. Probably the best part of the whole day. See? So these people are scared shitless of you. Okay? And I've never been violent. See? And I don't promote violence. All I do is say, get the camera out and expose these people. Get some flyers. Expose these people. See? I don't need to be violent. See? The truth is its own weapon. The light of day is its own weapon. The camera is the new gun. Okay? So, use the weapons that you can use without getting in trouble. Alright? You just have to stick to the truth. And that's why they leave me alone. Because I tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Don't I? Okay? Thank you for your time. Bye. Okay, just a quick addendum to this video. One thing I forgot to mention was that after this whole hoopla of the SWAT team and everything like that, was I ever convicted of failure to appear, which is contempt of court. 90 days in jail, a misdemeanor. No. They kept on asking me, did you know that there was a hearing on the 14th? Did you know there's a hearing on 14th? I said, there's no law that requires me to attend a kangaroo court. Well, if I didn't get convicted on that, I mean, I should have got contempt of court just for saying that. See? No, never convicted. So the thing is, if I wasn't convicted on this, the whole thing is a whole bunch of bullshit. I mean, if you can't see that, then you got shit for brains. See? And also, another point. How come only 2 deputies, 1 probation officer, and a city cop come to maliciously arrest me on a gross misdemeanor weapons charge? Okay? When on September 9th or 17th, a SWAT team from Stevens County comes to maliciously arrest me for a trumped-up failure to appear charge. A misdemeanor, okay? If you people can't see something wrong with this, then obviously you are mentally insane. See, the people who are sane can see that there's a problem here, okay? The other people are agenda-driven shit for brains, and I mean, that's just all there is to it. I mean, they are blinded by their agenda. That's it. I mean, that clear insanity. So, thank you again for your time.